Hello, fans of Kentucky. Manchester United lost their most recent Premier League game against Aston Villa, a 2-1 scoreline that was more precedented by a majority of the football world. Not a lot of Manchester United fans came to this match looking out for a Manchester United win. A draw was more than enough for us because not just for the fact that we lost three of our first team stars to AFCON, but we lost Casemiro to suspension. And after the first half of the game, we also lost Bruno to injury. So not just that, Aston Villa on themselves were on a 9-game winning streak. So it was a very hard mountain to climb trying to win Aston Villa. But Manchester United did put in a very good performance. They did good. The players who were on the field, they represented themselves well. They tried to play the Amorim ball to the best of their knowledge and their ability. We had the most shots, we had the most shot on targets, made the most passes, made the most possession. Honestly, these things don't necessarily count in a game of football, but we lost at the major metric that counts, which is the scoreline. But it was a good performance from the boys who played. And the game also showed that we actually need our own Morgan Rogers, an attacker who is clinical enough to not need too many chances. Morgan Rogers also had 2 shots on target, and he converted both to goals. If Skohan took this chance and scored this goal, it could have been a completely different game. So Manchester United attackers, you guys need to get more clinical. Dogu, Patrick Dogu seems to be improving because the major flaw that he had since he came to Man U has always been his delivery. His last pass, that final crossing to the attackers to score or pass on to others. He has been very awful at making that final crossing. But the game against Aston Villa, I saw some improvements. In fact, the missed goal from Cunha was actually a perfect crossing from Dogu. So I think he's been working on it because Dogu is the kind of player that finds himself in perfect positions, perfect attacking, perfect positions to influence the attack. Due to the flow of the Amorim ball, the wing backs get to position themselves in a place where just one cross can change the course of the game. And yesterday, Dogu showed why, with more training, he can get good at delivering the perfect crosses for the attackers to take advantage of and score. Even the assist that he got yesterday was about his work ethic and positioning. So kudos to Dogu. I can see you're putting in work behind the scenes to actually improve on the flaws that you've had since coming to Manchester United. And here is me hoping that you are going to get better and better and better. I mentioned Manchester United featuring some of the academy players, and yesterday, Shea Lacey and Fletcher featured, and it was quite some performance from them. They weren't on the ball too long, but Fletcher actually put in some decent performance yesterday. I don't know about you, but if you keep Fletcher and Ogate, please, don't bite me, but I will take Fletcher because Ogate, they fear me. Ogate, they put fear for my body. Ogate makes me afraid. Every time Ogate gets the ball, every time he's in the lineup, I am always afraid because I don't understand what he's always doing in the midfield. So here is me looking that Shialisi is going to get more minutes as time goes, as the season progresses, and finally try to make some impact in attack. We need the youth. We need our academy boys. And Euro, contrary to what's popular opinion, where people might say Euro needs more training, Euro needs to be on the bench. I don't think Euro actually needs more training. What Euro needs is a psychotherapist, a psychologist, somebody who is actually going to, talk to him, like have a soul-to-soul talk with him. Because I think this incident with Mateta is still messing with Euro's head, honestly, because the game against Aston Villa just showed that Euro is having some mental restraint from actually aggressively marking the ball, marking his attacker. It was due to his momentary and seconds delay from closing down Rogers and actually putting in a decent challenge that resulted to 2 goals, not just one of them, but 2 of the goals. He failed to close down quickly enough, and not because he couldn't close down, but he was holding himself back, and it felt like it was a mental thing. Something was going on in his head. I don't want to go into this guy aggressively and end up getting a PK. Like something was going on in his head. That's why he was holding himself back. So Euro, you need a therapist right now. And honestly, you need to speak to a therapist to get your head cleared because you are a great player. You are a great guy. You are going to turn out a great defender in future, but you need to get your head cleared. Tell me any other observations you got from the Manchester United game, which I know it was quite disappointing in the end because the first half was promising. We showed promise. We could match these guys. But the second half, after we lost Bruno, it was Very disappointing and all downhill. Talk to me in the comment section about any other observations you got from the game. Thank you.